Hey everyone, it's time for our weekly forecast. Let's smudge. I want to use the Shaman Dream Oracle again today. Open our circle. Shuffle. The energy of the week is number 33, Joyful Muse. You'll likely hear my son in the background as he's playing video games while I am doing this. Inspiration, the gift of play, and inner child. The Joyful Muse invites you to be more playful, to have more mirth and joy in your life. You have become boring to yourself, even as others continue to find you interesting. Circumstances has dulled your edge, and it's time to change. Not the things around you, but your attitude. Blowing a morning kiss to yourself in the mirror, smiling to a stranger, wink to a child, be mildly but elegantly inappropriate. The Joyful Muse is a source of inspiration, a wild and disruptive feminine force that compels you to invite more pleasure and delight into your life. Give yourself permission to be mischievous and find the humor in the tragedy while careful not to become frivolous. The power of this muse will shake up everyone around you and invite you to create beauty and grace out of the pain and tragedy you perceive in areas of your life. The Joyful Muse often comes at a time when darkness prevails and the future seems dour. Embrace her gifts, be playful without being silly. Invite the child inside of you to come out for a play date, and he or she will help you to return to your innate innocence, the place of never been there, never done that, even if it is the same routine you waking up to every morning. How many of us need this in our lives? And it's really kind of funny. So I told Mason before I'm doing this video, hey, mom is doing a video. I need you to like turn the level down. And even as I hear him in the background and I know he's having fun and he is playing with his friends and having a good time, I am finding that noise very, very irritating. It's triggering me. I'm like, stop it. So this Joyful Muse is that reminder when we find things irritating and dull to really just lighten up a little bit, have a little bit of fun. Another thing that triggers me sometimes are memes, and the memes are obviously meant to be funny, but there's something in the meme that I don't like. So it's something to the effect that what do I want to say? Sometimes I take them too literal, or I want to be serious, so I take them literally, and I guess I find fault with the meme, right? Like, yes, this is funny, but if you think about it, it is a serious situation, or some people do struggle with, whatever it is. And so this, again, it's okay to have fun, and it's okay to be lighthearted. And this is our second week at home with the kids, and you can see that it's kind of wearing out on them. We did excellent last week, really, really excellent. I did super excellent. And then there was a day on this weekend, I believe it was Saturday night, I had a bit of a healing crisis where I got into this really, really dark space of all of these emotions kind of overwhelming me, and it was a lot of negative self-talk about, me not being good enough, no one would care if I wasn't around, like all of those things, all those thoughts. And it was like every single dark thought I have ever thought in my entire life all decided to like rush forward and like just hit me in the face. So as I am going through these emotions and feeling these emotions, I personally, the higher self of me, I know that I have really worked through those emotions over the years and through those traumas, and that I have overcome a lot of that. And so even when you are in that dark space, or for me, even when I'm in that really dark space and I'm feeling really overwhelmed and overcome by all of this darkness and negativity, I still am able to become the witness to it. I still understand while it's happening, even though it's really shitty and it sucks, I understand that my body is trying to purge something. It's either trying to purge something or it's putting me through a test to really understand if I am ready to take on this next step. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you had some dark moments last week or over the weekend, understand that you are being confronted with everything because you have asked to evolve. You have asked to evolve and to grow, and to become more. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that we are totally okay with letting go of the victimhood and everything like that. So, and to help us kind of move forward then into this week is this joyful muse. So having fun with life, after a day like that evening was really heavy and really shitty, and I knew I was healing. Like, I understood it as I was going through it, because like I said, I've had that experience before. But really just knowing that you can't take life so seriously all the time. You have to interject fun. You have to let things kind of roll off, right? Like Mason and making all the noise in the background, and being okay with that. Like, life doesn't have to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We're not like these little robots that are predictable. We're not predictable because we have this spark inside of us, and we have this free choice that we can make choices. We can choose to wallow in that grief and in that depression and exit out if that's what we really want to, or we can, choose to overcome the depression, the anxiety, the darkness. We can choose to make changes and choose differently in our life, so that we can kind of follow this path of enlightenment. And it's not that you reach a destination of enlightenment, or that your work is over. Then your work is there's always going to be work to do. There's always going to be lessons, because we're constantly up leveling. Once you reach this level, okay, now let's try and push you a little bit more and see if you can reach the next level. I believe we had this card last time, but in a different position. So this one is number 45, forgiveness, repairing the veil. So this is what else we need to know this week. So forgiveness, making amends, recognition of our unity. Between us all is a thin veil, appearing to be a space that separates us. We look through this veil and believe ourselves to be distinct from each other. We assume that our thoughts and our feelings are our own. Like me on the weekend, right? Thinking that there's absolutely nobody that understood the darkness I was feeling that night. We see bodies and objects and the spaces between them, so we engage the world in relationships between a duality of us and them. This veil serves as a mysterious illusion, making it so hard to believe in our inherent connection and unity. We can't always remember what we do to someone else, we at the same time do to ourselves. When we claw at the veil out of fear, anger, jealousy, resentment, manipulate others, misuse our power, or allow someone's actions to diminish us, we create a wound felt by many, not just by those of us in the smaller direct relationship. Now is the time to examine where your actions have caused difficulty or harm to someone else, and also where you have been the recipient of harm. Regardless of what side you are on, it is important to take responsibility for healing this rift by bringing love, compassion, deep listening, and presence to whatever is not in harmony. Do this for you and for your own liberty as you become an unwitting hostage once you take the role of the perpetrator or victim, both positions of weakness. Let go of all of your resentment and know your part in the dynamic, and make the appropriate amends with that newfound wisdom and understanding. Healing, forgiveness, and mending what is broken in your world with a sweet, much-needed declaration of freedom. So much, right? Like, there's so much information in this card, and depending where you are or how you are feeling, how this card is going to be interpreted for you. So really understanding that there is this cause and effect relationship with everything, with our thoughts, with our words, with how we treat others, with how we treat ourselves. It is this kind of big rippling effect. And same thing, going back just to our little example of Mason irritating me right now or triggering me right now. Is it really his fault that he's being loud right now? No. Could I have, maybe managed my time a little bit better and did this video at another time? Sure. So really being able to just embrace that everybody is doing what they need to do right now. Embrace where they are in their own journey, in their own thoughts. We talked about this a little bit last week, and really just having compassion and respecting that not everybody is going to feel the same way you do or think the same way that you do. However, when you look through this vast world and universe, there are others that do feel the same way you do and that do think the same way that you do. You aren't alone. There is this huge relationship, and it's like we are this giant microorganism living, in this world. All right. Where is this going? It says lost in space, needing direction. And it's funny because I wanted to talk about space. Okay. Feeling lost, needing direction and focus, a 24-hour day. Sometimes in life, we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. This happens especially when we are up-leveling and genuinely changing for the better. A part of us, hiding in the vast expansiveness of space, wants to sabotage our progress. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable as we find our thoughts and our beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift in this way right now, unable to focus or determine the next step. You might be tired and simply need to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is to redirect your perspective of time. Like a newborn baby who needs swaddling to feel safe, you're invited to reduce your life visioning for the next 24 hours. Anyone can handle living in 24-hour compartments, which allows everything to feel grounded and manageable. You get lost in space when you imagine being swallowed up in the giant vastness of the future with its dark uncertainty, or reflect on how your past has held you captive in a hall of distorted, never-ending mirrors, reminding you of your mistakes and flaws, failures, and losses. Take heart that the simple 24-hour container immediately banishes those two awful eternities away. You will find your energy and focus restored as you recognize that you were never lost at all. Keep it simple. Right now, conserve your energy and take care of you in basic fundamental ways, and the world will be right again. Yes. So where this is going is it's kind of like how I was saying. So on the weekend, like all that, there's just, everything's up in the air. Don't you feel that way? Like you can't even make a concrete plan right now. You can't plan a vacation. You can't even plan a birthday party. You can't even plan, sometimes you can't even plan a couple weeks in advance because you don't know whether the kids are going to be at school or if they're going to be at home learning. Like everything is just like, and when you think about that, and when you think about planning something and putting the effort into planning something, to have it change, to have, the whole schedule shift and change, and then you're reworking that plan, like that's a lot of effort, like reworking and reworking and reworking and reworking. And then there's never this sense of accomplishment because everything always had to shift and change. And so I think a lot of us can relate to that or can understand that feeling. And so it's kind of like bringing everything back, like with Eckhart Tolle and the power of now, right? Here in the present, this is the time that we have right here, right now. There is no past, there is no future. It's right here, right now. What can I do for my highest good in this moment? And just taking those baby steps. When it comes to this channel, when it comes to me, when it comes to my business or trying to figure anything in that sense out, right now it's a blank slate. It truly is a blank slate. There is no need for me to have a huge ambition. And putting a lot of effort into planning. There's a few things that I want to do, but those are more things in this present moment. In this present moment, this is what I'd like to do right now. And in the present moment, this is what I'd like to do right now. Could you imagine even me trying to have a schedule full of clients right now? And then, like what just happened the last 2 weeks, all of a sudden the kids are at home. How I would have to cancel all of those appointments or figure a way how to work late into the evening. But I wouldn't feel right about that because my energy wouldn't be right for that, if that makes any sort of sense. So have a little fun, right? There's a cause and effect to everything that we think and that we do, and we're going to have to take it one day at a time. Now, the action is the fortune's wheel. It's luck and right timing. And I think we're going to like this one. When I think about this card and in this content, while we are, focusing just on the day in and day out, and we're not, reminiscing about the past, and we're not being worried about the future, and we are really here. What I like about this is with that right timing, we're open to the right timing. So if an opportunity presents itself, we can say, we can really feel that yuck or that yum feeling, right? That feeling in your stomach, that feeling in your gut. If something is right for you, it's going to feel yum. If something's not right for you, it's going to feel yuck, right? And you're going to tense. You're going to tense up, and it's going to be a no. So then no, not for me, not the right time for me. But when something is the right time for you, you will feel it, and your intuition will feel it because you're open. You're on the present path. Okay, so it's number 23. Luck and right timing, a turn of fortune. The fortune's wheel is a sign that luck has found the right timing in your life. You have the magic touch and everything turns to gold. There is nothing that you can do wrong. You only need to hold what you desire as your intention and it becomes true. Do not waste this power on trifling things. Dream big, for surely this opportune moment will pass. Such is the nature of the fortune's wheel. Use the captive power of the fortune's wheel for the benefit of others, and the gifts will be returned to you tenfold. Use it for only your own gain, and you will be left impoverished with a bitter taste of squandered opportunity. Fortune's wheel comes unannounced. Notice the early signs, the coincidental encounters, and the seemingly magical and synchronous events that herald its arrival. That call, that email, that invitation, that chance encounter was no accident. They are all choreographed by fortune. Do not wait any longer. Carpe diem. Recall your boldest and noblest longing and invite it into your life. This invitation is all that is required. So with this card too, with the luck and the right timing. So this is our action card. So not a whole lot of action to do except to be open to receive and to receive those messages. The things that you can do, and like with anything, is if you are truly like gonna live this present life and you're going to, whatever it is, so you're going to start meditating or walking or running, whatever it is. When you are doing something like that, that is mindful, setting that intention for that session or for whatever that is, right? Say you're going to go for a 30-minute walk. Well, what is the intention for that walk? The intention is, maybe you set an intention by moving my body for 30 minutes. My intention is that I will come out of this 30 minutes with more energy, with more clarity, with more patience to really respond to the world instead of react to the world, right? To, increase your serotonin, right? Like so many different things. What's also with this fortune wheel, I want you to take a note of the number 23. Okay, I can't remember what the day is. I think it's the 18th today. However, so the month of May is a very abundant month when it comes to setting intentions around finances, financial abundance. So May 5th is a really big date for that. Another big date for that is the 14th of the month. And then again, the 23rd, because 2 and 3 add up to 5. So keep in mind what you are doing on the 23rd of this month and get up early and like at 5 or 5:55, do a ceremony or write down some intentions, and then you could do it again in the evening, or choose one or the other. But really kind of focus and play, like have some fun. When you are setting intentions and when you are trying to kind of live this magical life, there is no hard, steadfast rules that you need to follow. Really do what feels right to you, what feels yummy to you. If it feels right, then do it. If it doesn't feel right, or if it doesn't resonate, just let it go. So that's what I have for you guys. Let's close this circle up, and we will talk soon. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things. Take care.